On Friday, hundreds of accounts got liquidated. People lost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And now you're starting to see the videos of people coming out and saying, oh my gosh, this is why I got liquidated. And they're starting to basically cry online and saying, oh my gosh, I lost investors' money. I lost my money. It was a horrible day. I lost everything. And so I got one video of the guy basically explaining why he lost all the money. And we're going to watch that one. And then for these people that said buy the dip, it's now cheaper than ever, we're going to watch somebody else talk about why they cannot buy the dip, why they basically have no money. And even though stock market is still all-time highs and everything else, doesn't mean that people have the money to rebuy back in. And when you're looking at leverage, you're looking at stocks. When stocks go up 1 to 2%, and you've invested $1,000, you've invested $100,000, or if you invested just $100, it's not really doing too much for you if you don't apply leverage. And I do get that, because somebody wrote me an email and said, I have to apply leverage to make something happen, because if the stock goes up 0.5% or 1% over 1 or 2 days, that's really not noticeable. And so what he does is they apply leverage to make more money. And how do you apply leverage? And what does that even mean? So I got a chart right here, basically a screenshot of what does it mean to leverage something. So in the crypto world, you can leverage to 100% of your whole portfolio. You can pick whatever you want depending on platform. So how does 50x leverage work? Because a lot of people taking out huge leverage positions. So to keep it fairly simple, I said we're going to start off with $100. So you deposit $100 into a trading account. You apply 50x leverage to your capital. So you deposit $100 and you can now control $5,000 worth of money. If the stocks you're trading increases by 1%, your $5,000 position, which is 1%, will give you $50. So your $100 just made half of the money back, and in 1 day, 1 minute, or however long you did that. So that's kind of how it goes. But the problem is if it comes the other way and you apply that 50x leverage and it goes down 1%, you basically lost out on half your money. And if it goes down 2%, your $100 are wiped out. And this is the scary stuff about leverage. You can go really well for really long, but then it's wiped out in seconds. And so let's watch this guy talk about what happened to him.
Crypto just had its 1987 moment and I got fucking smoked. My vault was entirely liquidated. I was running a long short strategy that was working perfectly until it wasn't. I want to scream, but there's no crying in the casino. Let me explain what happened. The worst part is that I also lost other people's money. It wasn't just my own. This isn't news to anyone. Tariffs. I thought we were over that. We are not over tariffs. Okay. So the tariffs sent the stock market down. Crypto was holding in fine. Trump's note read like it was a warning shot. And then all of a sudden at 5 p.m., while equity options are still exercisable, Trump announces 100% tariffs. Typically, that would not lead to a liquidation. I have short positions on. Net leverage was like 4x. The gross was fucking 8x, which would normally be fine if the markets were functioning normally. And there was a problem with the Oracle network. Something happened in the Oracle network. Oracles, like Chainlink, aggregate data so that you can tell things like what the prices are on a decentralized platform. The underlying blockchains were fine, but that caused an absolute fucking panic. When they came back online, everyone was dumping. Fartcoin was down 85%. One of my long meme coins while I shorted a bunch others. Additionally, SUI went down to 0.6 from where it was trading at 330 before market closed. So Hyperliquid starts liquidating me. It liquidates Trump coin at 550. That goes down to $1. It liquidates Ondo at 0.35. So it would be fine if all of the positions got liquidated at once because there would still be residual value. We were talking about minus 60%. It should have been only minus 20%, but perpetual futures are not pegged to the spot contract. We know that. We don't think, though, that the Solana price is going to go down to $145 when Solana itself was only at $160. I don't even want to know what Ondo was at or what SUI was at. So this is Black Monday in 1987 for crypto. 95% of my funds are gone and $20 billion fucking dollars were liquidated in the past 24 hours. Honestly, I'm so mad, but you just got to own it. You got to understand that leverage, crazy shit can fucking happen. But I think this shows that DeFi is not ready to take on the load from traditional finance. Maybe the underlying blockchains were functioning normally, but the whole value of crypto is what we can build upon it. If it cannot take the load and it fails at a key time like Robinhood does when you're trading, you shouldn't be on Robinhood. You shouldn't be trading on DeFi. I see the vision. Everyone sees the vision. It is clearly not ready. This sets DeFi adoption back 2 years, and it also unveils that it was never ready. But you know what? Again, there's no crying in the casino. I've lost a shit ton of fucking money, and it's fucking fine. I would be happy taking an L if everyone else could get fucking their money back. There's just nobody to sue, right? Like you can't go to fucking Charles Schwab and say, why did you liquidate me? The market price was X. You put me down here off exchange OTC. Like that's what you're buying into. That's part of the value of it. But if it is not secure, if the oracles can be hacked or malfunction in some way, I would rather have a bank, right? So this is the explanation. And if you lost fucking money, I'm really fucking sorry. I really wish that I could have predicted this better. I wish that it didn't fucking happen whatsoever. Obviously, I was running a leverage strategy. Everyone knew that. I would have never fucking expected many major altcoins to flash crash down 80%. And the liquidation of it is just so infuriating, seeing the prices that they cleared me out on.
So yeah, so he basically said he lost everything. There was issues with the trading platforms and yada yada yada, and everything was working great till it's not. And this is kind of the concept that Mike Tyson was talking about. Everybody goes into the ring till they got a plan and till they get punched in the jaw, and then the plan goes out the window. And when you leverage like crazy and you're making crazy amounts of money and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just killing it, you have to know that maybe the money's going to stop and maybe this isn't what I should be doing, because let me cash out and take some profits or decrease it. But once you start making money, it gets dangerous because you think you're untouchable. So if you watched for so long now and you watch my content and you like it, please like and subscribe. That would really, really help my channel out. And so we went over what happened. People leveraged themselves, people did crazy stuff, and they got wiped out. And now we're going to transition into basically what people are saying, oh, just buy the dip and it's cheaper now than it ever was. If you have no money, and that is why you leveraged your money, you cannot just rebuy in. That's why you lose. That's why you use leverage in the first place. If you'd had hundreds of thousands of dollars laying around and you're like, you know what, let me buy crypto, let me do all that. It's almost like human nature where you then basically go out and you have to leverage because you want more. Gear kicks in, greed kicks in, and you're just like, give me more, give me more, give me more. And so regardless of where you at, and you're like, I want to make money faster. Like I said in my video yesterday, you gotta make money faster. You gotta do it better. You gotta 5x, 10x it, and everything else. And then you watch some trading gurus that says, "Oh, you gotta put stop losses into place and everything else." But you made money for so long, it's like this is not gonna happen. And as he even said, it's like, "Oh, tariffs were out the window," and obviously it wasn't. But if you don't have the money and you know that the economy's not so fine, and you know that people were making good money, six figures beforehand, are now not making so much money anymore. So let's watch this guy talk about his journey and what he's been dealing with while he was making good money. And now the times are kind of tough.
All right, I'm drunk. Let's go. So if you're feeling broke, you're not alone. Dude, I don't open up about what I do very often on here, but I've been in mortgages for the last 12 years. So if you want to lump that in with finance, that's fucking fine. There's a little bit of a tech angle on there. It doesn't matter. But here's the deal. Up until the last handful of years, I have been deep into the six figures. I have a corner office overlooking a lake. Things have been pretty good for me for a long time. They're not good for me anymore, to the point where I'm trying to survive like the rest of y'all. Now, look, I know what you're going to say. Oh, we've been like this the whole time. Look, the point to this video is people like me have been catching up to you over the last couple of years, and now people above me are starting to catch up to you. Don't waste your time fucking arguing over who's been struggling longer. Everyone's starting to realize how fucked, how cooked everything is now. And we need to embrace each other and join together. And when I say struggling, I mean, dude, I left my corner office on 5 o'clock on Friday, and I have been driving Uber, Lyft, and Uber Eats nonstop since then, just to keep the fucking ship afloat. Because to own the home that you owned when things were good, to feed your kid, no matter whether things are good or bad, all of those things, you have to do what you have to do. And it means swallowing your pride and driving fucking Uber and DoorDash and whatever the fuck else is coming on. I just got signed up with the fuck Walmart Spark. I don't know. I did one. I didn't really like it. I may not do it again.
So yeah, you heard him. He basically said, if you're not closing deals, you're not eating. And he's driving for Uber, he's driving for Lyft, and he's trying to get his house paid for by his day job. He's trying to keep his car paid for by Uber Eats, and he's trying to keep his groceries paid for by his door dashing or whatever he's going to do there. And so this is just a economy in 2025 where people that were making deep into the six figures, and all of a sudden it's like it's not looking so good. And then how are you going to explain to this guy, just buy the dip, just keep on buying the dip, it dropped, so just keep on buying? When there is no money and you're already struggling, investing isn't what you're going to be set your mind to. It's like, oh, let me just invest, let me just invest. Credit cards are piling up and everything else is just kind of piling up. And then it's like, okay, what do you do now? And so those few spare dollars you do want to invest, you're going to leverage because you're not making anything off of those few dollars. And I get what they're talking about. I get it because it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I can't really, my job is not paying me because I'm not closing deals. And all these people that are coming to the showroom floor, coming to me are just tire kickers. And I'm just basically wasting my time. And just because the stock market's at all-time high and everything else doesn't mean that the economy's good and people can pay rent or do anything. Because when you look at who owns stocks, it's 10% of the population own like 90% of all the stocks. And the other 10% own literally, or the other 90% own literally nothing or 10%. So who controls that? Very wealthy people. And that is why I tell you guys, use your money wisely, use your money, deploy it like a strategy. You got to get into that mindset of what do I do with my money, and not just hand it to some random influencers and say, here's my money, and just invest it for me so I can do something with it. Because you saw even him, he lost it all. And there was a good comment on there that, so this person here was talking about that they were meeting with their financial advisor, and their financial advisor was talking about, oh my gosh, put some leverage on that, and then this whole thing collapsed, and he would have lost out on some huge money. And I was like, you need to fire that guy. And leverage works great when it does, but most of the time, you really get burnt. And this is why I'm telling you, it is so tricky to make money when stocks go up 1 or 2%. So this is why these politicians in Congress are such good stock traders. They know that stuff's coming out. They know when investigation's going to happen and the stock's going to drop. So if you know that the stock's going to drop because the federal government's going to investigate a company or something else, you know that there's going to be a sell-off. And so what do? You can open up positions, right? And all of a sudden you can make some serious money. Is it ethical? Is it legal? No, but they all do it, right? And so it's all about the information you have. And when you read it online, the market already reacted to it, so you're kind of too late on it. But like I said, if you don't have the money to do it, then you're just out of luck, and you got to find out ways how you can do that. And this is what I'm talking about on YouTube every day. I go out on my walk and I say, you got to better yourself. I don't know what you do, but what I tell you is you got to figure out, where do I want to go in life? What is my goal? Is it to own a small business? Is it to retire and just drink margaritas on the beach? Or do I want to own a boat? Do I want to own a house? Do I want to do that? And then you kind of backwards engineer it. And it's probably hard if you're sitting in credit card debt and you're doing all that. But let me look at it this way. This doesn't require luck. It requires you to show up and then basically do it. And I have lost thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've tried to get where I was. Did I have the money? Not always. And I had credit card debt an insane amount, but I've paid it off, and I've had other business strategies that then bailed me out, and I've gotten clients at like, oh my gosh, I couldn't sleep. And then I gotten clients, and all of a sudden it kept the ball rolling. And so what you do is you just gotta wake up, repeat, and kind of do it. It's like when you get into the boxing ring, you're gonna get punched in the face, but after a few punches, you're starting to know that, yep, that's just how it goes, and you knock it off. After the first few fights that you lost, oh, it's not too bad. And then all of a sudden, after the fifth, sixth, or seventh one, you constantly show up. You're starting to do better, and you're starting to maneuver better, and you're starting to dodge some punches, and you're starting to win some fights. What I mean is make some money. And all of a sudden, you're doing a lot better than before. And these are the skills that are so valuable. In an upward market, everybody makes money. A drunken monkey can shoot darts at a wall and then make money. But in a downwards market, all of a sudden, not everybody's making money, and you need to have some skills, some insider information, or something else. But that's just how it goes. And if you want to invest money, you gotta be willing to risk some of it, or you just gotta apply no leverage and park it somewhere safe. Take your 4.5 or 5, 10% and just kind of let it sit. And I think that's what Ali and I are doing. I'm not even involved in the stock market too much because I would get too emotional. I would say that it's not going quick enough. And I would be one of these people. And frankly, I would tell you, I would apply leverage. I would be like, this isn't working out. I'm only making a few dollars. That's why I don't even look at my stock trading account or anything else. And I was like, let's apply leverage and let's make this go faster. Because personally, I am an impatient person. And so then I'm like, okay, let's make this quicker. And sometimes when you want stuff quicker, it means you're gonna lose it even faster. So do what I do, just set it up correctly, and then just kind of forget it and make your monthly deposits into those accounts and then kind of let it be. And in the long run, the market will bail you out, but you got to set it up correctly. And yeah, that's just how it goes. But man, people lost so much money. People lost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, 800,000. And I've seen other people lost, oh, I lost 20,000, I lost 30,000. And then you lose your job and you're like, oh shit, should have not done that. Should have cashed out some of it. But it is human nature. Once you win, you think you're always going to win. Once you make some money in the stock market and you use leverage to do it, why stop? Let's add more. Let's do this again. Haven't lost on a trade, or I've not lost big time, so let's just keep it rolling, keep it rolling. And comes to find out that you should have just stopped while you should have quit while you were ahead. And there's a saying like that, right? But then again, this is just one guy's opinion on YouTube. And so you do with your money whatever your heart desires. Just remember, do your research and then trying to make sure that your family's well taken care of. Because if you lose your money and now you can't feed your family, it's traumatic. So yeah, don't do stupid stuff. And in the long run, the market will bail you out. But if you apply leverage in a good or a bad way, it amplifies it. So know what you get yourself into. Basically, what I always tell people. But people are impatient, just like myself. So yeah, man, it's Las Vegas. It's kind of cloudy today. And it rained that day, and then I got mosquito bites, and it's like, holy smokes, I'm getting mosquito bites, I'm getting bitten. I thought I left Florida, but no, the national bird from Florida made it to Vegas. It's like, oh my goodness. And yeah, it's getting colder. And yeah, but it's still nice. I'm still in t-shirts and shorts. And yeah, that's why I moved here. So yeah, this was it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about all this craziness going on in the market. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.